Have you ever experienced that while talking to someone, we know what we have to say, we know what we have to put among the others, but suddenly our mind totally go blank, and then our brain starts and then our brain starts asking questions like is my grammar correct, is my pronunciation correct, or and what are people thinking about my communication and about me. And because of that, the conversation becomes awkward. And I realized the same thing while recording myself from the last. I realized this. I realized this. I realized this recently when I was recording for day 35th. Many times the problem is not the communication. The problem is our overthinking. So when we communicate naturally, speaking is automatic. Automatic. We don't think we are telling we are speaking in a incorrect way. We don't think our grammar is correct. We don't think our pronunciation is correct, or we literally don't think what the other people are thinking about me, about us. Just like when we talk to our close friends, we don't think about every word we are speaking. But when we start thinking, communication stops being natural. Instead of focusing on the conversation, we start analyzing everything. Either it is our words, grammar, pronunciation, or how we sound to others. And the moment we start, and the moment we start doing that, speaking becomes difficult. It almost try It almost like trying to drive a car while thinking about every small movement of our hands and legs. So what actually overthinking does? From what I noticed after posting 45 days, overthinking is overthinking creates a conflict in the brain. There are two types of there are two systems working in this in there basically there are two systems working at the same time. One system wants to speak naturally and express ideas, and the other system wants to monitor. Other system wants to monitor and correct everything which we are saying. The other system wants to analyze what we are saying and monitor it. When the monitoring system actives becomes active, it interrupts the natural speaking process, and this is when things happen like hesitation, long pause, and forgetting what to say. So the problem is not that we don't have thoughts. The problem is that our brain is busy judging. The problem is our brain is busy judging our thoughts before we speak them. I noticed few signs that shows I noticed few signs that shows overthinking is happening. First, first my I start translating sentences in my head before speaking. Second, I keep correcting myself again and again. Third, I focus more on grammar than the idea I want to share. And last one, fourth, I try to sound perfect instead of sounding natural. So according to my personal observation, while doing this challenge, I noticed this happening to me many times. Sometimes I start recording or speaking, things go naturally. But when I suddenly become conscious how I sound, और मेरे वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करने के बाद लोग मेरे कम्युनिकेशन को कैसे जज करेंगे, माई माइंड टोटली गोज ब्लैंक एंड स्टार्ट चेकिंग, एम आई स्पीकिंग करेक्टली, इज दिस सेंटेंस गुड, am i not am I not doing a grammatical mistake, and that is exactly when the flow breaks. So one thing I am learning is that communication improves more with freedom than with control. The moment we start controlling our communication, or anything else, the moment we start controlling it, it seems like it seems like we have started losing them, and we have lost our control. So how I am working on it to reduce it. A few simple things I am following right now is the first one is that I try to focus on the idea, not the sentence. I just put all the things which come in my mind without thinking about what are people going to think about me. Second, instead of stopping myself when I get stuck, I slow down and continue speaking. Just take a pause and act as natural and normal. Third one, I remind myself the imperfect communication is still a communication, but going blank and stopping myself to communicate is not a way of communicating. Fancy doesn't come from speaking perfectly. Fluency, 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 fan, fluency and clarity does not come with stopping ourselves to communicate. It comes naturally and it comes automatically while doing the imperfect things again and again, and while talking imperfectly again and again. It comes from speaking consistently, and I am noticing a big amount of change in my communication from day one to till date. So one lesson I am learning during this challenge is that the best communicators are not the ones who speaks perfectly. They are the ones who allow themselves to speak without overanalyzing every word. And I think the more we practice that, the more natural we became and the best our communication skill became. So this was day 46 of this challenge, and today I have talked about why we go blank in our mind, and I have I have written down the scripts and bullet points which you have noticed that I am seeing in my laptop. Basically, I watched two or three YouTube videos, and after watching and writing, writing them down. I rewrite my script, and I am just seeing and repeating all those things which I have written. So it was day 46. See you tomorrow on day 47 on Wednesday, 11th March 2026. And I am definitely going to achieve all the things I have promised myself by the end of this year.